Welcome everybody. I'm Antonietta, and today's class is a 40-minute practice designed to celebrate and support the LGBTQIA+ community, where we focus on finding connection within ourselves and with all. So grab your props and let's connect the dots. Together, we meet on the mat. We're going to start today's practice with a therapeutic exercise to help you feel energized. It's called Breath of Joy, which is a 3-part breathing exercise where you inhale through your nose by first filling the belly with air, then to the rib cage, and then finally the chest. Then you'll exhale through the nose, allowing air to release from the chest, rib cage, and then belly. You can also inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth if that feels better. We'll be adding some arm and body movements that I will demonstrate for you first, and then you can join on in. Let's begin. Standing with feet placed a little wider than shoulder width apart, slight bend in the knees, arms rest along the sides. Exhale deeply. And inhale for 3, 2, and 1. Sharp exhale, bend forward and send the arms back as if you're moving the air, letting it all go. So remember, it's 3 separate breaths. It's in, and then out. Let's keep this going for 5 more rounds. In, and out. In, and out. One last round. See how you feel. Tune into your body. Feel the energy flowing into all parts. Everyone will experience this in all sorts of ways. You could be feeling a little dizzy or maybe pins and needles, and that's okay. It's your way of experiencing the sensations. Enjoy the feeling of feeling. In your own time, make your way to the front of the mat. Once you get there, take an inhale, and on an exhale, bow down to standing forward fold. Plant the palms, step 1 foot back and then the other, coming into downward facing dog. Pedal it out and really reach the hips up high, bend to the knees to lift the hips a little higher, and try to ground down into the heels. Don't worry so much that if the heels don't come to the ground, just have the intention, and in time, they will get there. On your next breath, gently lower the knees down, coming into tabletop. Keep your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Drop the belly towards the mat, bring your gaze up towards the sky, cow pose. Pull your shoulder blades together and back and open through the chest. Deep inhale. And a deep exhale. And repeat once more. Draw your navel up towards the spine. Allow the spine to round as you drop your chin to your chest, coming into cat. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale, drop into cow. And exhale, round into cat. Continue to flow in and out of cat and cow on your own, using your breath to guide you in and out of the pose. Keep your movements slow here and don't be afraid to incorporate your own authentic movements here. Find what feels good. Adrienne Mishler, Yoga with Adrienne. If you haven't checked her out yet, please do. She's been my guiding light for many years. Okay, let's keep this going for 5 more breaths. Take 1 more breath for each. Beautiful. And come back to a neutral spine. Push off the mat with your left hand and extend your right arm towards the ceiling. Thread the needle by slowly moving your right arm under your left chest towards the mat. Ground through both knees and left arm for support. Right shoulder and head rests on the mat. Glance at me if you need to. Option to extend your left arm overhead, coming in up onto the fingertips. Hold here and focus on your breathing. See if you can hear what thoughts are coming up here. Are you wanting to come out of the pose? See if you can let go of the pull and just surrender into the resistance. Let's reset. Press firmly into your left palm and slowly unthread your right arm, reaching it back up towards the sky. The gaze can follow. Return your right hand down to the mat, back to tabletop. Let's repeat this on the other side. Lift your left hand up, sending your gaze up with it, and then follow your left hand down as you thread beneath your right arm. Sink into the stretch by keeping your hips up high while allowing the chest to rest on or come close to the mat. Option to extend your right arm and come up onto your fingertips. Push your hips back and up and keep some pressure in your right fingers to avoid crunching your neck and to control the deepness of the stretch. Deep quality breaths here. Try to be here right now, focusing on all that is going on in your body right now, feeling the tight areas getting loose and unraveling, creating space. Press firmly into your right palm and slowly unthread your left arm, reaching it back up towards the sky. The gaze can follow, and then return your left hand down to the mat, back to tabletop. Inhale love and exhale love. Walk your hands forward and your knees back, coming into puppy pose. Slide your forearms down and release the forehead to the mat. Spread your fingers nice and wide and press firmly into the palms. Elbows lift, hips lift towards the ceiling. Keep pressing the chest towards the mat. For a deeper stretch, you can try lifting the wrists by coming onto the fingertips. Also, you can come up onto the chin. Try not to worry so much on how this looks, but how it feels. See if you can just melt into this stretch. Two more breaths here. Perfect. If you're on your fingertips, lower and release to the palms. Slowly come onto the forearms. Shift the hips forward and gradually lower down to the mat, coming into Sphinx pose. Elbows are underneath the shoulders. Lift your chest, open your heart, pressing into the palms and the tops of the feet. Let's take one more breath together. And meet in table by curling the toes under, sliding the hands back, moving slowly and consciously. How you move matters. They say the way that you do one thing is the way that you do everything else. So make it count. See if you can invest in all of yourself and savor in each and every moment. Big or small, let's give our all. Inhale, send the hips back and up, and exhale to down dog. Be sure not to hold your breath here. Try to take some rich quality breaths here as you think. Inhale, expansion, belly blows up like a balloon, and exhale, belly deflates and draws in towards the spine. Bend your knees one at a time or pedal your heels towards the ground. One more round. And exhale. Ground down through the left foot or heel. Inhale, lift the right leg up high. Exhale, bend your right knee, squeeze it into the chest and step it forward. Make sure the front knee is over the front ankle. Pivot on the left foot and rise up strong, warrior one. Reach the fingertips up high, pull the hip creases back. Hips and torso facing forward. Right foot is strong, left foot turning in and anchored down. Lift your chest and inhale. Now let's wring out the lower back and organs with a revolved warrior. Bring hands to prayer at the heart center. Pivot on the back foot. As you twist the torso towards the sky, heart is open. Left elbow comes to the outer side of the right knee. Gaze is up. Place pressure on the palms, or you can make a fist with one hand to deepen this twist. Option to extend the left arm to the ground and the right arm reaches to the sky. One more breath. And then interlace your hands behind your back for a nice deep heart and chest opener. Pull your hands back and away and gaze up. Nice deep breaths here. And then slowly hinge at the hips as you begin to bow forward. Torso rests on the inside front thigh. Reach the arms up and overhead, keeping the fingers interlaced. Continue to make your way until the crown is shining towards the mat, or as far as you can go. Relax your head and allow your neck to hang. Humble warrior. Let's take 5 to 6 breaths. Carefully release the grip and place your hands to frame the right foot. Step the right foot back and make our way to plank. You can go straight to downward facing dog, or you could take a vinyasa. Shift forward on your toes, bend your arms and lower to the belly, chaturanga, and then up through upward facing dog or cobra. Moving with your breath, we'll meet in downward dog. When you get there, take a deep cleansing breath in and a long cleansing breath out. Moving at your own pace, anchor through the left heel and inhale, lift the right leg up high, three-legged dog. Bend the right knee behind you, opening through the hips, and try to look back to see if you can find your toes. Pause and breathe. On your next breath, pivot on the ball of the left foot so that your toes face the back edge of the mat. Arch the back so that the hips are parallel to the ceiling. At the same time, place your right foot on the floor on the outside of your left foot. Extend your right arm, wild thing pose. Breathe deep. Pivot on the ball of the left foot so that the toes face the front of the room. Lower the right arm down to the mat, returning to downward facing dog. Coming into Warrior One, inhale, anchor through the right heel, lift the left leg up high. Exhale, shift forward and hold the core tight, gently step it up, pivot on the back foot. And when you're ready, we rise up strong and powerful, Warrior One. Pressing into the outer edge of the back foot, hug the low ribs in and breathe deep. Here we go, revolved warrior. Bring hands to prayer at the heart center. Pivot on the back foot as you twist the torso towards the sky. Heart is open. Right elbow locks into the outer side of the left knee. Gaze is up. Place pressure on the palms, or again, you can make a fist with one hand to get a deeper twist. Option to extend the left arm to the ground while the right arm reaches to the sky. One more breath. Reach your arms back to interlace them behind your tail. Open the chest, pull your hands back and away. Gaze is up. Nice deep breaths here. Hinge at the hips as you begin to bow forward. Torso rests on the inside of the front thigh. Reach the arms up and overhead, keeping the fingers interlaced. Continue to make your way until the crown is shining towards the mat, or as far as you can go. Relax your head and allow your neck to hang. Let's take 5 to 6 breaths. Carefully release the grip and place your hands to frame the left foot. Step the right foot back and then make our way to plank pose. Really reach the heels back, dome through the upper back, pushing away from the mat. Core is engaged, neck is long, gaze is down. You're welcome to pick your own affirmation here, or you can repeat after me. My voice matters. My voice matters. Again, you can go straight to downward facing dog or take a vinyasa, shift forward on your toes, bend your arms and lower to the belly, chaturanga, and up through to cobra. Moving with your breath, we'll meet in downward facing dog. When you get there, take the deepest breath you've taken all day and the longest exhale. Empty it all out. When you're ready, inhale, lift the left leg up high. Exhale. This time, bend the left knee behind you, opening through the hips. Again, try to look back to see if you can find your toes. Pause and breathe. On your next breath, pivot on the ball of the right foot. Toes face the back edge of the mat. Back arches, hips are parallel to the ceiling. Place your left foot on the floor. On the outside of your right foot, extend your left arm. And you can take a mudra here if you like. Take one more breath and make our way back to downward facing dog. By pivoting on the ball of the right foot, left arm gently drops down to the mat, bringing it back to downward facing dog. Pedal it out here, shaking the head a little yes or a little no. Step the left foot behind the left hand and then the other behind the right. With a generous bend of the knees, press weight into your heels, sink into your hips, and reach your arms up towards the sky. Utkatasana chair pose. Option to bring the hands to the heart center, tuck your tailbone down and under, try to lift all your toes up off the mat, then placing them back down to the earth. One more deep inhale, and then exhale, forward fold. This time grab the opposite elbow or whatever feels good to you. We'll stay here for 4 breaths. Let the head grow heavy here. You can bend the knees or pedal them out. Sway a little side to side, sending the breath to any tight areas, using it as medicine or oil to lube the joints or any stiff spots. On your next inhale, come into a halfway lift. This time reach your arms back, palms face down, flat back from crown to tail. Shoulders pull back and away from the ears. Exhale, let it all go, forward fold. On an inhale, bend your knees and sweep your arms up towards the sky and then place them by your side, palms facing forward. Draw your shoulders down and away from your ears. Zip up through the midline. Stand tall and proud, mountain pose, Tadasana. Shift your weight into your right foot and cross your left thigh over your right, coming into eagle pose. See if you can hook your left foot behind your right calf. No worries if you can't. You can rest the ball of your foot on top of a yoga block. Bend your knees and shift weight towards your heels as if you're coming into chair pose. Next, cross your right elbow over your left like you're giving yourself a big hug. And bring the palms of your hands or the backs of your hands together. Lift your elbows as you sit back a little deeper. Nice work. Unravel. Coming into a quad stretch. Shift your weight to your left foot, bend your right knee, and lift your right foot heel towards glute. Reach back with your right hand, grab your right ankle. Keep a slight bend in the left knee, thighs hugging towards center. Keep length through the back and lift the chest. And from here, we'll make our way to dancer pose or Natarajasana. Rotate your right hand from your ankle to grasp the instep of your right foot with the thumb resting on the sole. Lift your left arm straight up towards the ceiling and bring your torso forward. Option to use a strap if your hamstrings or low back feel a little tight. Keep a slight bend in the left knee. Right knee hugs towards the midline. Kick your right foot strongly into your right hand, or if you're holding onto a strap, really hold onto it tightly as you lift the leg higher and deep in the back bend. Toes are active. Find your drishti to keep balance. No worries if you fall or stumble here. There is no failure. Falling is success. If you stumble, pick yourself back up and try again. There's no finish line, so take your time. Deep breaths. Carefully lower your right leg back in line with your left, and let's repeat on the other side. Shift your weight to your right foot, bend your left knee, and lift your left foot heel towards glute. Reach back with your left hand to grab your left ankle. Slight bend in the right knee, thighs hugging towards center. Lift the chest and breathe deep into the tightness. Now let's dance on the left. Left hand rotates to grab the inner arch of the left foot. Thumb rests on the sole. Right arm lifts straight up towards the ceiling. Torso leans forward. Slight bend in the right leg. Left knee hugs towards the midline. Kick your left foot strongly into your left hand to lift the leg higher and deep in the back bend. Toes are active. Find your gaze. Deep breaths. lower your left leg back in line with your right. Shift your weight into your left foot. This time cross your right thigh over your left. See if you can hook your right foot behind your left calf. Again, no worries if you can't. In time you get there. Bend your knees and shift weight towards your heels as if you're coming into chair pose. Next, cross your left elbow over your right and bring your palms or your hands together. Lift the elbows as you sit back a little deeper. Eagle pose. Inhale, and on an exhale, unravel. Root down through the feet and inhale, reach for the sky. Spread the fingers, press into your foundation, big stretch. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the palms, step one foot back and then the other, plank pose. Gently lower the knees, coming into tabletop position. From here, we're going to come into one of my favorites, camel pose. Option to pad the knees with a blanket or double up on your yoga mat if needed. Otherwise, bring the hands to the back waist, loop the shoulders forward, up and back, tailbone lengthens down. You can use your thumbs along the back side of the low back to guide you forward and back. Inner thighs are engaged and squeezing into the midline. Open the chest and press firmly into the tops of the feet. Hips shift forward. As you begin to lean back, hug the elbows together and reach down to grab your heels. Inhale, inner thighs continue to squeeze together. Look up, or you might look all the way back, and breathe. Posture, bring one hand back to the back waist and then the other, tuck the chin and slowly roll all the way up. Knit the thighs together, sit back on the heels and then cave into child pose. Forehead to the mat, rest the arms alongside, fingertips towards the heels. Let the shoulders grow heavy here. A wonderful counter stretch to send back a little well-deserved love. Let's take a couple breaths here and just let go for a moment here. Slowly make your way back up. Swing your legs over to either side and extend them in front of you. Inhale, reach the arms up, and then exhale, hinge at the waist, flat back, rainbow the arms up and over and fold. Bend your knees as much as you like here. Listen to the sound of your breath. Mindfully roll all the way back up, reaching your arms up and then place them down by your sides, Dandasana or staff pose. Following this, bend your knees, lean back to balance on your sit bones. Feel the lift through the low belly, lengthen through the spine, chest is lifted. Moving from center, lift your legs up, feet are in line with your knees, fingertips reach forward, straighten your legs and point your toes. Navasana or boat pose. Remember, my breath is my anchor. Now let's hold it for a count of 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down and stomp it out. Rock the boat a little harder, a little faster, and done. Roll down to our backs. When you get there, hug your knees to your chest and make your way to happy baby pose. Bring the arms through the insides of the knees and hold on to the outside edge of each foot. Slightly tuck the chin to the chest and press the heels up and pull back with the arms, creating a resistance or opposition. Shoulders and neck and back press down into the mat. You can rock your baby a little side to side here if that feels good. You might extend one leg and then the other. Breathe and enjoy the stretch. Raise the corners of your mouth slightly, maybe coming into a little inner smile. And from here, let's rock and roll all the way up by grabbing the back of the hamstrings and making your way back to tabletop. Once you get there, curl the toes under, walk the hands back towards center, coming into Malasana or Yogi squat. Adjust your feet as needed. You can come up on your toes if that feels comfortable to you, or feet flat on the earth. Tailbone is tucked between the ankles, hands are in prayer at the chest. Continue to press hands firmly together while at the same time pressing elbows against the inner thighs, creating resistance and building strength. Now place your hands back down on the earth in front of you and slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time to standing. Once you get there, extend your arms out wide, palms face forward, fingers outstretched. You may need to adjust the width of your stance here. Star pose. Stand out and shine. Take up space. Pause and breathe here and really stretch it out. Coming into our final asana, tree pose. Engage your core and bring your hands together at the heart center in prayer. Root down through the right foot as you begin to slowly lift your left foot up, allowing it to rest on your ankle, calf, or thigh. You can use your hand to guide your foot and keep your gaze steady and your mind clear. Option to use a wall for support. Lovely. Carefully place your left foot on the ground and find your balance in both feet. Shift your weight over to your left foot and allow your right foot to rise up and rest on your ankle, calf, or thigh. Squeeze the inner thighs in as your foot presses against it, creating opposition or resistance. You might raise your arms up to form branches or whatever shape you choose, or you can leave them placed at your heart. Take a couple breaths. And let it all go. We're going to end today's practice with a little knocking on heaven's door in hopes we can open up to some love and laughter to start or even end our day. Simply stand with feet hip-width apart, feet rooted with a soft bend in the knees. Let your arms hang at your sides and make fists with the hands. Then begin to swing side to side, starting off slowly here. Breathe in love and exhale love. Start to pick up the pace and maybe give the booty a little knock. Shake it up a bit if that's okay. It's okay to laugh. Let it out. Laughing is so good for you. It sends more oxygen to the brain, which triggers the release of endorphins that help us to feel more positive. It can also lower blood pressure, relieve stress, and boost your mood. If you're up for it, let's pick up the pace a little more. It's okay to let go, be free, and have fun. You are allowed to live. Keep breathing here. And when you're ready, let's begin to slow it down and come back to standing in stillness. On an inhale, reach your arms all the way up, palms touch, and then place them at the heart. Your voice matters. You matter, and you deserve to take up space. This is your world. Know it, claim it, own it, love it, love all. After all, love is love. Let's seal today's practice by bringing the thumbs up to the third eye. The pride in me recognizes and honors the pride in you. Take good care. Stay true. Namaste.